Welcome back, baseball fans, and welcome to another episode of the Vintage Vegas 9 Ball, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. It is now January 2026. It is the 8th today, and here in Las Vegas, it's gotten a little cold. It's the high is 50, and kind of a gloomy day. The low will be 30 today, but almost just a month away from pitchers and catcher reporting, so that makes our heart feel warm. And without further ado, let's get to the Vintage Vegas 9 Ball for the day. First card is a Dr. K, Dwight Gooden. And here he is with the Mets early in his career. And of course, he was so dominant coming to the big leagues as a 19-year-old. Had those big seasons. Let's look at his stats early in his career. Looks like for the Mets, 1984, he was had 17 wins and a 2.6 ERA. And then in 1985, an unbelievable season. 24-4 with a 1.53 ERA. Dr. K, just unbelievable. And of course, the next year in 1986, the Mets would go on to win the World Series, and he was a big part of that as well. And just completely dominant, similar to Fernando Mania when he first came into the league. His starts were can't miss for 3, 4, 5 years there for the Mets. Just an outstanding player. And of course, he unfortunately got caught up in kind of that drug culture in the big leagues at that time. But he was suspended for a year. And I think about 1994, 1995, he was suspended for a year. But then he came back the following year with the Yankees and threw a no-hitter. And he won a couple World Series championships with the Yankees. And just a great pitcher. One of the most elite of all time, early in his career, Dr. K, Dwight Gooden. Put him on the stand. Great pitcher. Next card is Derek Lee. This is a Derek Lee rookie scorecard. See him here warming up. Looks like maybe in spring training. And yeah, he's hardly recognizable without his facial hair. Doesn't really even look like him. But yeah, great player. And he started his career with the Padres, and then he was traded, I believe, to the Marlins for Kevin Brown. And then he moved on and had some great years with the Cubs. And we'll always be grateful for his many good years in the Cubs uniform. And here he is early in his career as a rookie for the Padres. We'll put him on a Cubs stand for his great years as a member of the Chicago Cubs. Next card's a throwback here, Bobby Thompson. A beautiful looking card here with the pink and the capybara in the bottom left-hand corner. And of course, Bobby Thompson's famous for that shot heard around the world that he had as a member of the New York Giants. And the Giants won the pennant. I think that was the first postseason game. I think it was a playoff game in order to get to the World Series. And it was broadcast coast to coast. And the first game, I think that was broadcast coast to coast. And just a dramatic win for the Giants. And this is the guy that was responsible for that. I believe the Giants were down, I believe to the Dodgers, Brooklyn Dodgers at the time. In the last inning, I think they were down 3-1. And a couple guys got on. Bobby Thompson hit a 3-run homer to win the game for the Giants. Just a big-time player. And I didn't remember, but looked at the back of this card. He actually had a lot of seasons with good home run totals. I thought he was kind of like, when I was a kid, I always thought he was kind of like Bucky Dent, didn't hit a whole lot of home runs or something. But yeah, you look at his home run totals, 29 home runs, 16, 27, 25, 32, 24, 26, 20. And then even with the Cubs in 1958, 21 home runs. And you see here at the top of the card, it says, Bobby's homer won the 1951 pennant for the Giants. And just a beautiful looking card. And here he is later on in his career with the Cubs. Bobby Thompson, famous for the shot heard around the world. On the Cubs stand. Next card is the Paul Konerko. Here Paul is as a catcher. I don't really remember him too much as a catcher. Of course, he was always a first baseman, DH type, once he got to the big leagues. But it's a nice looking first impressions card. It's him as a catcher. Let's take a look at the back. And it says, comparisons as a hitter to Mike Piazza. Not unfair at this stage. You other comparisons in instinct and makeup. Drives the ball consistently. Tremendous defensive potential as well, it says. And at the bottom it says, up close, set up a room full of mirrors in his parents' house to observe and practice his swing. So we have something in common. Practice my swing in my room full of mirrors as well. Nah, just kidding. Don't tell my wife. But yeah, here Paulie is. And nice looking card. As a catcher, playing his career as the Dodgers before he was traded to the Reds, and then on to the White Sox where he starred. Paulie Canerco. Next card is another guy who liked to practice his swing here in Las Vegas, John Lowenstein. And here he is looking sharp with his perm and stash. And you can just imagine he's one of these guys that really took up Vegas as a home during his career, one of the first guys in baseball to do that. And he's kind of a legend here around town, John Lowenstein. Still lives here. And you can imagine him walking down the street in his polyester pants and going to the Las Vegas Club downtown. That's where the Circa has replaced that now, Circa Sportsbook, and their elaborate big screen TVs, a beautiful place, Circa Sports. But it used to be called the Las Vegas Club, and they actually had a statue of a baseball player above the entrance, and it was kind of a throwback kind of place, low ceilings, smoky, and the type of place that you could picture John Lowenstein hanging out at. And here he is for the Orioles. Look at the back of the card. You can look on the bottom here, you see home, bottom left-hand corner, Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah, he's kind of a Las Vegas legend. John Lowenstein. He was kind of a fourth outfielder type guy. Had a long big league career, mostly for the Orioles. Next card is a Barry Bonds. And here you see Barry leaning back. He looks like he's looking at a long drive out to right field, probably onto Sheffield Avenue. And I like this card with the old throwback WGN Sports logo. And I miss WGN Sports where the games were broadcast nationally. Of course, now the Cubs have their own sports network marquee. But yeah, this is a throwback. Looks like Bonds. You can just tell he's looking lean in this picture, and you can tell he's looking out high to right field. He's hit it looks like he hasn't left the box yet, so it's either foul or gone, I'd say. And yeah, beautiful looking picture of the GOAT, Barry Bonds. Let's take a look at the back of the card here. And you see it's written in Spanish here at the top. So I don't know if this is a Pacific card. If they were some type of Spanish card, someone let me know in the comments if you're familiar with that. But yeah, written in Spanish in the top, and then here in the small left-hand corner, here in small print, it says Barry smacked 11 home runs during the first month of the 1996 season. He tallied 42 home runs for the year, giving him 158 since joining the Giants in '93, and 334 for his career. Of course, he'd go on to 762, and this is Barry Bonds in his prime here at Wrigley Field, looking at a long home run. Put him on the Hall of Fame stand because that's where he belongs, of course. Next card is a Bill Allman of the Allman Brothers. No, Bill Allman, actually, he was the #1 overall pick in the draft for the Padres in the early 70s, and never really panned out. I like the shot of him with the tube socks. Of course, the White Sox at this time, some of the games we would wear shorts, if you remember, and everybody wore shorts and these long tube socks. And here Bill Allman is looking sharp for the Sox later on in his career in the early 80s. Let's look at the back. It says William Francis Allman. And then at the bottom, if you can see, originally the property of the Padres, who made him the #1 pick in the nation in the June 1974 amateur draft. Look at his totals, though. Only 8 home runs in his career as of 1981. So didn't really pan out as the #1 overall pick, but still lasted, several years in the big leagues as kind of a utility guy. And yeah, here he is looking sharp for the White Sox, Bill Allman. Or the rambling man, I guess you'd say. Next card is a Dave Smith here, looking more like the Donald, with that phone in the background, probably thinking whether or not he should order a strike somewhere. And of Of course, Dave Smith, a big strike thrower himself. And here he is with the Astros, big-time closer. And, of course, he would be acquired by the Cubs and didn't have the same success that he had with the Astros. But let's check out the back of his stats. Back of the card. And you look at his save totals. You look at 86, 33, 87, 24, 27, 25, 23. Look, sitting right at 199 on the save totals as of 1991 or 1992. I guess 1991 when this card was made. And yeah, here he is looking like the Donald, Dave Smith. And the last card for the day is another Dave Smith. Here he is with the Cubs. This is an updated version, I guess, of 91. And he's probably taking questions of about Greenland or his golf game, one of the two. You see how here, of course, he has his shoes untied. Of course, that's not really important. The important thing is winning, and Dave Smith knows that. And here he is, looking sharp in his Cubs shirt. Dave Smith, a.k.a. the Donald. And that will conclude the Vegas Time Ball for today. We appreciate you guys watching. Hope you're all having a good start to your new year. We wish you the best of luck during this year. And appreciate you watching, and take care, and God bless.